Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Chatting with the Lightkeeper. As always, I am Edward, and you are you. And first of all, let's start out by saying once again, I am not doing a video pod this week. The reason is I have a lovely little cold, and it is honestly much easier for me to be able to pause with recording audio to take a break to blow my nose, to cough or sneeze, where editing a video, editing those things out is a lot more complex for me. So I'm not super well versed in it yet. So we're doing audio this week just to keep it easy because, well, I don't feel the greatest and easy sounds like a plan. So there's that. And what you're seeing, if you are watching the podcast, you will be seeing some pictures of lighthouses. And these lighthouses are all lighthouses from the Great Lakes. I think all but two of them actually reside in the state of Michigan, which is absolutely fantastic. I love to visit lighthouses. It's obviously kind of how, a lightkeeper, the person behind the actual name, the lightkeeper, came to be. So there's that. So if you are watching, please do enjoy the lighthouses and understand that, yes, I will get back to a video pod just when I get over random cough and sneezing fits and having to blow my nose. All the fun joys of a nice winter's cold. Speaking of that, how did it get to be February already? Wasn't it just the rush of the holidays? Anyway, moving on and into the meat of the podcast. I guess one more, housekeeping announcement before we start. Sailor and I are working on a little something. Hopefully we will get it announced before the next podcast, but it might be delayed. All depends on how life treats us. But we do have a couple of things that are in the works, which we think will be fantastic and that you all will enjoy. So, today's podcast, my goal is to be personal. I want to talk about my journey in the lifestyle and also to be positive. I want this to be a positive thing that everyone can take something away from my journey, hopefully. And what the lifestyle has done for me, it's done many things. But one of the biggest positive things it has done and allowed me to do is to make me a better person. And I think talking about how exploring or being involved in the lifestyle can help make us better as, better people, which is for me something I strive to do every day. Not always a success, but it's always an adventure. But I think talking about it is a good thing and can really help, especially if you're new, to see that there are, benefits out there besides just all the kinktastic fun that can be had. The first thing that I really learned on my journey is that self-acceptance is not always easy, and learning to love myself is an ongoing adventure. I think it is probably for most people. We can really embrace and love ourselves, but we still have those areas of insecurity, which I think is very natural. But the lifestyle really helped me with my self-acceptance and accepting who I was. If you don't know my backstory, I discovered the lifestyle in college. I had a great experience with it in college, and then out of nowhere, graduated, got the job, and all entered the real world. And when I entered the real world, I put the lifestyle aside. I don't know where this idea came from, but I thought that it was a phase, college thing. And now that I had graduated, it was time to be an adult. So I put the lifestyle away, dated, met some amazing people, and nothing ever clicked. And I was always left with the same emotion of feeling unsatisfied in the relationship. And after a lot of self-reflection, I thought the one thing that was missing was I was not my authentic self because I was not sharing my DS and BDSM side to the people I was dating. And so I sort of crept back into the lifestyle at that point, tiptoed back in, and that's really when I learned to accept that the lifestyle is a part of me. And that was a big thing, and it's helped me grow and helped me accept other parts of myself as I have journeyed. The other thing that really kind of grew out of that same time period is that shame and desire do not have to coexist. Looking back on what I was feeling at that time, even though at the time I couldn't put words on it, I think I was ashamed to admit that some of my desires obviously went against what society says we should like and what we should be into. And so I sort of self-shamed myself into stepping away from the lifestyle. I really think that's what happened. I convinced myself that a good person doesn't behave like this. A good person doesn't, pull their partner over their knee and spank them and enjoy it. That was just wrong and weird. And, we can go on and on with a list of negative things that I put on myself. But once I accepted that the lifestyle was a part of myself, then the journey became to stop shaming myself about it, that there's nothing shameful with liking what I like, and it's okay. And it's okay to pursue this. So now that I've done all of that, I finally felt that, hey, I'm in a good place. Let's go find a partner. And at the time, I thought that would be a relatively easy ask, but finding a partner in the lifestyle is a challenge. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Sometimes we can just kind of find somebody and it naturally clicks, which is what happened when I met Sailor. It was conversation that just clicked. Everything just clicked, and it was very easy. We sort of found each other. Although she'll tell you she found me. Anyway, it is not always easy to find a relationship in the lifestyle, and it's just because there's so much that has to click. Not only do you have to click on the vanilla side, but you have to click on the lifestyle side. So it's not necessarily as easy as sometimes we think it is. It's not as easy as, gosh darn it, I'm a good person and I deserve this. Sometimes it does take a little work and it does take a little effort, but it's definitely amazing when you find that special someone. The next thing the lifestyle has brought me, it's really helped me, even though it's an area I admit I still struggle with. Sailor will tell you that I struggle with this, but it's balancing, and obviously within DS there are certain places where we can live it openly, and there are other places we can't. So it helps me balance life better because I'm balancing the dominant submissive side of everything along with life. My biggest challenge is still with balance is my work and personal life balance. I'm grateful that I have a partner like Sailor who will text me or call me when we're apart and say, "Hey, it's 6 o'clock. Log off the damn computer," which is absolutely fantastic for me. I need that, but because of that, really, because of DS, I have a partner who helps me balance work and life, which is fantastic. The other thing that has helped me across the board is consistency. And consistency, I learned really from the lifestyle. To be successful in anything from a hobby to our work to our relationships, it takes being consistent. And to be a dominant, you have to consistently be there. You have to consistently uphold and maintain, limits, boundaries, enforce when something goes bump or the submissive misses an expectation, or if you're a submissive, you have to consistently meet, the agreed upon and consensual expectations. But that consistency is so key in life. We have to consistently do what we do at work. We have to be consistent to build friendships and to maintain our friendships. We just have to be consistent. And that is something that the lifestyle taught me early on, and it helped me across the board, especially when I was young and thought I knew it all. Yeah, I quickly realized how hard it was to be consistent, which led to me to learn that, obviously I don't know it all, or this being consistent for what is important to me in my life. If I knew it all, I wouldn't have that issue. So it's really helped me with being consistent and trying to consistently be me. The other thing that has come from the lifestyle is learning that trust takes time. Now, there's a quote by former President Reagan that when he was talking about dealing with, at the time, the Soviet Union, that it was okay to trust what the leadership said there, but you had to verify that. And that is actually kind of a perfect, no matter what your politics are, is a perfect metaphor for building trust in DS. Trust takes time to build. It's not instantaneously. You can meet somebody, believe they're trustworthy, you know you're trustworthy, you extend trust to them, they extend trust to you. But it's important during that building of trust that, you verify that they are indeed being trustworthy and trustful and all that stuff. That's why vetting is so important. Really, that's what you're doing. You're examining, criteria. Do they fit what I want? Do I fit what they need? All of that stuff. But it's building a trust, and there's no shortcuts to building trust. Trust simply takes time to do. Everything can click and it can be great, but you still need to invest the time because trust is something that, there's no way to shortcut the investment of time that has to happen. The lifestyle has also taught me that it's okay to say what I actually want rather than what somebody thinks I should want. And really, what I mean by this is it's very easy to get caught up. I know when I was newer, it was very easy to give answers that I felt were expected, like, oh, a dominant should say this as an answer rather than saying what I felt. And it's okay for me to be different. I don't have to follow the herd, shall we say, of dominance, and how I respond or what I want, what I need is unique to me, and it should be that way for everyone. It's really helped me embrace me and not be afraid to say, hey, I see it differently. So that has been a wonderful, wonderful benefit for me. Now, this, I know I said we were going to be positive, and this might not sound positive, but I think when I get to the end, hopefully I'll explain it in a positive way so you can see why it's here. The lifestyle has taught me that bad actors, bad people appear in our lives no matter how careful we think we're being. And it doesn't matter whether you are a dominant, a switch, a submissive, it doesn't matter what gender you are, that bad actors exist everywhere. And when I was younger, I was very naive. And along with that, being so, I guess, less experienced with the world, small town boy, your neighbors, you sort of trusted everyone. And that carried through with the lifestyle. And the lifestyle taught me that, once again, trust, but verify. Don't just extend trust, or don't, in this case that I'm thinking of, don't go out of your way to show, look at how trustworthy I am, while you ignore the red flags coming from the other side. And I talk about what happened. It's a few episodes back from last season. It's called Automobile Flambe. If you want to hear my bad actor horror story. But the positive that I take away from that bad experience, and a few others that have happened along the way, but the positive that I've taken is that it's very, very important to, once again, take that time to build that trust, and to make sure that I am not overlooking red flags or that I am not too intent on proving that I'm a good person. In fact, I don't worry about that anymore. I am simply me, and if that works for you, fabulous, and if it doesn't, that is fabulous too. So that's how I've turned a bad experience into what I think is a positive for me. Up next is evolution. And no, we're not talking about how man transformed over the centuries, but evolutions in my thoughts and my desires and how I've changed as I've grown in the lifestyle. There are things now that I'm curious about or that I've explored and I like that when I was a, wet behind the ears beginner, I would have had these things as, oh no, never, ever, ever, never. There's so much change that we go through as humans. Thankfully, I'm not the same person I was yesterday. Hopefully, today I'm a better version of that person. And so, as we grow, as we evolve, we change, the lifestyle is a great thing because it allows us the freedom to grow and the freedom to change within it. We are not We are not stuck with our hard limit list from 2 years ago, or 5 years ago, or 10 years ago. Same with our limits, our boundaries. Everything is negotiable and everything is changeable. Even things that we were into, maybe we're not into anymore, and that's okay. We can grow and we evolve, and the lifestyle brings us the space to do all of that without having to alter who we are. And speaking of altering who we are, that takes me back once again to being the lifestyle newbie and the fake it until you make it attitude. Now, I want to say I didn't think I did this, but looking back, I'm certain I probably did it a few times. The fake it until you make it. You might say you pretend you are skilled in something you are maybe intermediate at, or you don't understand fully what somebody means by a terminology, but yet you act like you are during the conversation, and then afterwards you go back to Google and say, "Holy crap, what does this actually mean, Google?" Or I guess nowadays we wouldn't go to Google, we would go to our AI assistant and hope our AI assistant doesn't shoot out bad data at us. But yeah, faking it until you make it. It's something that, I know I've done it when I've been new in a career. You know, acted like I knew it and then went back, did my homework to get the answers. But within the lifestyle, faking it until we make it is not a good thing. And not faking it until I make it has helped me across the board. It's helped me learn that there's nothing wrong with saying, no, I don't get this. No, I don't understand that. Obviously, it's taught me to do my homework. If it's something that I don't understand, then I can go and learn on my own. I can go learn it on my own. Or if it's a conversation with my boss and he says, "Do you understand?" I don't feel any shame now in saying, no, I don't. Can we, I don't get this or I don't understand that. Can we go back and, to use corporate word parlance, circle back to that? So yeah, the faking it until you make it part has helped transform my life across the board. The next area that has really impacted my life is vulnerability. I can be tough to get to know in some ways. I know that, I can put up walls, or perhaps I might call them shields, to sort of protect myself or to not be vulnerable. But opening up and being vulnerable is not something that is just natural and easy to all of us. But yet we have to be when we are exploring the wonderful world of BDSM. And BDSM has helped me learn how to be vulnerable, learn how to, lower my shields, to let somebody see me for me, even when I'm afraid of what they're going to see. So the lifestyle has helped me learn how to be vulnerable, which helps me be a better partner, a better friend, and overall, I think it helps me be a better person. The next couple of things that are on my little list of notes are very, very related or intertwined for me. But what I want from life changes, and what I want for the lifestyle changes. And all of that changing is related to my growth. And I'm lucky to have a partner that understands that change is a part of this, and we're going to both embark, and we are embarking on this journey of growth and change together, and that it's okay. It's, like I said, it's okay to not want what you wanted 3 years ago, or 30 days ago, or 3 days ago. It's okay to grow. It's okay to change. And I am, as I said before, blessed to have a partner that accepts, wants that, and inspires me to change, and I inspire her to change and grow. And so we are growing together because of our work with each other. And the other thing that's closely related is the individuality of the lifestyle. And I know I murdered that word. My apologies. But the lifestyle is something that you make your own. It's sort of like, I don't know, where I live, it's been brutally, and I mean brutal, like where the temperatures in Fahrenheit have been in the negative numbers. And even on a warm day, it might get up to 5 degrees above 0 Fahrenheit. So it's been brutally cold, which means there's been some times lately where, yes, I should have gone to the store to pick up something for dinner, but I didn't. And then once the sun goes down, which is still very early, the sun goes down and the cold that's already brutal becomes even worse. You go to your pantry and you're like, okay, I've got this, and this. I can dump together and make whatever out of it. And when I was newer to the lifestyle, it seemed like almost there were, to me, it almost seemed like there were checklists. To be a good dominant, you had to do the 50 things, and you could, check them off as you go. And once you finished that checklist, you were a good dominant. Even if things on that checklist weren't things that appealed to you, that you didn't want them, what have you, as everybody said, the mystical everybody said you had to do these things to be a good whatever. And as I grew in the lifestyle, it allowed me to be an individual, to say, yes, I want these things over here, and I want that from over there, but I don't want this, and I've made it my own. And making it my own also goes right along with the next thing the lifestyle has really helped me with. It has helped me embrace my creativity. I always enjoyed writing, and I wrote poetry starting from about the time I was in 11th grade. But I never shared my poems, wrote them and would throw them away most of the time, or put them in a notebook, which when the notebook filled up, I would throw away. So I was very, very sort of a closet poet. I enjoyed writing, but once again, I didn't share it with anybody. And then along came social media. And with the advent of social media, I remember I was having a cup of coffee. I believe it was probably a Tim Hortons, as that seems to be one of my go-to coffee places. But I thought, what if I, indulged my love of writing and I wrote about BDSM and kink? And at this point in time, I was single and unpartnered, so I thought this would be kind of a great little outlet to sort of scratch my itch of the lifestyle and also be creative. And that's how everything that I do now started. It's all based on me being creative, wanting to create and try new things. And not everything works, not everything is great. And I'll be brutally honest with everyone and say, if, for example, I didn't find doing this podcast to be creative and in a fun outlet for me, I would eventually phase it out and fade it out because this whole everything I do from my social media to my website, what I write to the poems, it's all kind of very selfish. I'm creating something, I'm learning something, and that's the driver for me with all of this. Yes, it's great that people listen, and I hope that you're taking nuggets away from this and you're learning something as we have this conversation here. But at its core, deep down for me, doing this is very, very selfish because it's allowing me to create, and that is the driver for me. Yes, there's a whole bunch of other things I love, but deep down, that is the thing that keeps me going is to create. And I can't sing, and with my voice as it is right now on this podcast, you don't want to hear that. I can't draw. Stick figures are a challenge for me. Musically, apparently when I was younger, I played instruments, but that's so long ago and a few too many concussions ago. I couldn't even, apparently, I played piano pretty much all my life up until college, but if you sat me in front of a piano, it's like, okay, these are keys. Or put music in front of me, I have no idea how to read it anymore. So, yeah, all those weird things. But no, this is at its core a creative outlet for me, and that's really what drives everything I do is the ability to create something. And I know it's not perhaps art in its purest sense, but it is driving the creativity side of me, and that's what inspires me to do all of this. And finally, the last part of my kinktastic um, I have this little thing that I try to be a better person today than I was yesterday and tomorrow than I am today. Now, I don't succeed in that. I have some days where I take two steps back, and the next day I can only take a step forward. But the lifestyle helps me strive to keep moving forward, to keep that be a better person goal going. And some of the specific things it's done is it helps me keep an open mind, right? The lifestyle has no true way to do things. Yes, there are dangerous ways to do things, and there are some very, very, very dangerous things or ways to do things, but really there's no right or wrong way. It's what works essentially for you. So that has really helped me keep my mind open, especially when it comes to, say, a practice that is 180 degrees different than what I would do or what I enjoy. So it's really helped me see and maintain an open mind. And plus, being from a small town, the lifestyle has put me in touch with and has helped people that I would never find in small town America. Yeah, so it's just absolutely been fantastic. Another thing, I'm a nerd. I love to learn, and the lifestyle is a never-ending journey of learning because everything's changing, evolving, terms, new ways. There's always something new to learn. And one of the things that I love and I've noticed is I learn so much from people who are newer or maybe they would consider themselves inexperienced with the lifestyle because they don't have sort of like the experience to be like, oh, well, this is how it's always done. They're not afraid to say, well, I like this or I do it this way. And really, I learn so much from people who are less experienced, oftentimes, than somebody who has been around the lifestyle for oodles and oodles of time, because this is how it's always been done. There's no fear of challenging the norms, if you will. So if you are less experienced with the lifestyle, don't be afraid to share your thoughts. Don't let that hold you back. Uh, and those that say you shouldn't are probably people that hang on to this is how it's been done and this is how it should be done. So yeah, don't feel shy about that. But I love how the lifestyle has taught me keep on learning and feeds my desire to grow my knowledge base. The other thing the lifestyle has really empowered me to is to empower me to do something, stand up and say something when I see something that I feel is misguided or harmful. Now, if you follow my socials, you will know that I stay on point. I don't veer into the political sphere very often. Occasionally on a podcast, you'll get a little Easter egg of my views on the world. But I try to keep it in today's very polarized world. I try, don't always succeed, but I try to not go there. It doesn't mean I don't have strong beliefs. My friends know exactly what those strong beliefs are, and we're probably friends because we share them. But I do try to keep them outside of this of podcast and creating. But they're there and very active. But anyway, the lifestyle has helped me not be ashamed to stand up if I see something and say something, not just say, "Oh, yeah, that's wrong. They should really do something about that." I'm not above rolling up my sleeves and getting my hands dirty to do something about it. And the lifestyle has helped me with that. And I've also done it in the lifestyle. Or if I see somebody posting something that's very dangerous, I have reached out with kindness and said, "Hey, here's something you might need to consider. Not in a way to like reprimand or try and make the person feel bad, but just a sort of this might be a little misguided and you might be putting yourself at risk type of way." But yeah, the lifestyle has helped me better understand when and how to stand up and say something and to try and make a difference, not only to make myself a better person, but make the world a better place. And like I said, my whole sort of personal goal that never changes is that to be a better person right now than I was 5 minutes ago, 5 hours ago. And I know I've repeated that throughout the pod, so we're not gonna going to go there at the very end, but that's my goal, and that's how the lifestyle, in a way, helps me achieve that. So I want to first next thank you for listening, and no matter where you're listening, if you could please, drop a comment. Let me know and share with everyone who listens how the lifestyle has helped you grow. What is the big lesson or the big positive takeaway that you've had from the lifestyle? You can just do that no matter what platform you're on. The comment feature should be there. Sometimes you have to scroll down a little bit on your app, but it should be there. Please also, the gratuitous begging part of my podcast. Please like, subscribe, and share with a friend if something here resonated with you. Please do that for me. I would greatly appreciate it. And I look forward to chatting with you again here in 2 weeks. And hopefully, by then, Sailor and I might have announced a surprise or two for you. Or if not, maybe we'll do it together on a podcast. Anyway, I look forward to chatting with you soon. And if you are in my neck of the woods, please stay warm, stay safe, and I look forward to chatting with you in 2 weeks.